Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy and today we're going to be doing a video on one tricks. Now this video is not going to be as long as some of the ones that I've seen in the community, but we are going to be talking about a few different perspectives and different variables to one tricking, what is one tricking, how to play with it, etc, etc. So, one tricking. Now, I do want to go ahead and say as a disclaimer that there is a difference between being a one-trick pony and being a person that mains a hero. For example, you're going to see on the screen my particular stats for Season 4. I'm a Genji main, but I'm not particularly a one-trick Genji. I don't only play Genji. I do swap. Some games I'll play an entirely different role throughout the whole course of the game. But as you can see, a vast majority of my hours are actually on Genji. So, I'm not a one-trick. I kind of felt like it for a while, but it's not quite the same. So do understand that there's a difference between having a main hero and actually being a one-trick. So one-trick pony is a person that picks a hero and they play nothing but that hero. So they want to play Torbjorn, they want to play Genji, they want to play Mei, you know what I mean? And they just play that hero. Attack, defense, assault, escort, capture point, it doesn't matter, they play that hero. Now here's the thing. The biggest question that I think I hear the most, or that I think should be brought up about one-tricking is, should it be allowed? Is it allowed? Well, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't one-trick. There's nothing in the game that physically keeps you from one-tricking. And technically, the person bought the game just like you did, spent the same amount of money, and should be allowed to play whatever they want, in theory. So should it be allowed? My answer specifically is yes. Now, do I think it's the best thing? No, not particularly. And I think the biggest issue around one-tricking is the fact that they create an unfun experience because it forces your hand. It forces someone to not be able to play DPS that round. It forces you to play with the Torbjorn, play with the Genji. And that can become not fun. And I think on top of that, attached to that, it's what's the scenario like when you get more than one trick on your team. Now that doesn't happen super often, at least not in my experience, but if you have a Torbjorn Symmetra one trick on your team, that could work on defense, you know, but offense is going to be very, very not fun, and it's going to unfortunately create a disadvantage. Now, the second thing about playing with a one trick, and we're going to stick from the perspective of just one trick on your team, is that they do create a disadvantage in some way. Now, if you're playing Genji, as you can see, I'm going to use him as an example. They're most likely gonna pick Winston. They're gonna see that you're playing a lot of Genji. They're gonna identify the one trick very quickly, or someone that they at least perceive as a one trick. And they're going to create a disadvantage by maybe counterpicking him. Maybe they'll start playing Mei. Maybe they'll start playing Torbjorn or Winston. And so they do create a disadvantage, but this is where you're allowed to take the game in your hands with the one trick on your team, and you need to take that disadvantage and create an advantage for it. If they pick Winston, one of your tanks should go Roadhog. Or maybe, if they don't have a Pharah or something, you can go Reaper. If they, and like I said, speaking from the perspective of Genji, maybe they go Torbjorn, you play Pharah, or you play Winston, so you can jump in and get the turret for him. So if you know that person's not going to change, help them out. You know what I mean? If you're playing on defense with the Torbjorn one trick, play Orisa. Play someone that can, shield for him. Keep the one trick alive, create the advantage, and enable them to do what they inevitably should be doing the best. So I guess my biggest advice, my biggest thing is don't flame the one trick. They're not going to swap, That's the one thing about them. They're not going to swap. So flaming them, talking bad about them, telling them that their hero sucks, it doesn't matter. It actually is completely irrelevant, and all it does is lower your percentage and lower your chance of winning. So embrace the one trick, do everything you can to enable them, create an advantage from the disadvantage, and just do your best to have fun and keep the morale of the team up. So again, I think that flaming the one trick is definitely the worst thing you can do, but I want to speak from someone who felt like a one trick at one point, and I want to tell you how to play as a one trick. If you're playing as a one trick, do everything in your power to perfect that. I play a lot of Genji, so I feel like I have that kind of tactics down. I see if there is a Torbjorn on the team, I really want to try to knock that turret down and kill the Torbjorn so he can't build another one fast. So I focus the Torbjorn. If a Winston jumps in on me, I have my jump available, I'll dash out, or I'll fight and duel the Winston. Oftentimes Winstons think they automatically kill Genji, and they don't. I often get kills on Genji, on a Winston. So
create that advantage by mastering your one trick if you are going to play it. Be a communicator on the team. Be a vocal leader as a one trick. If you're going to play Torbjorn, help them out. Tell them what you need. Tell them what you want. And maybe if people can think to have that positive mentality, if they can have seen this video or have learned something from videos like this, they can understand how to play with the one tricks. There's a big thing, a big influence in Overwatch, and it's the community's perception of things. Is a hero OP? Is a hero, bad? Is it, what's the meta? It's a big, large group of perceptions, and you're never going to always have that exact meta comp. So embrace it. Be a vocal leader, do the best you can, and work together, keep the morale up, and win your game. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video on one tricks. I think it should be allowed. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think the perception and how you respond to the one trick, whether it be on your team or against the team, the one trick, that's what you have to focus on. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like, and I'll see you guys for the next one.